Hey folks, TechTucker here. In today's video we are going to go over my Nintendo Switch collection. I wanted to do this video for some time, and after doing my game room tour, I was like, you know what, I do want to talk about these games. There's a lot of stuff here, I've played a lot of it as well. I was very much into the Nintendo Switch when it first came out, which is why it was like the first system that I properly bought for myself and had money to buy games. So yeah, I definitely got caught up in the hype, especially with the portability aspect. I was commuting to work every day, going on trains, buses, you name it, I was having to do it. So it made a perfect companion with loads of playtime there. So without further ado, let's take a deep dive into the collection. Now we will start to have a look at my Nintendo Switch collection. So I've got quite a few games here. I've not actually counted, but for the thumbnail I'm sure I will. But yeah, this is all alphabetized, so I will start off. Again, I'll just note, I'll talk about games that I've, had experiences with and whatnot, because realistically with this whole collection here, let's be real, there's no way I've played it all. Who am I kidding? I don't have that much time. I wish I did, but hey ho. Anyways, first game here, A Hat in Time, I bought alongside my Switch Lite. Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. Yeah, that's it. I remember buying this one when it just came out off eBay for like £20. It was sealed, it was an auction. Nobody seemed to really want it seems. But it was actually a decent wee remake, but to be fair, me and my sister played it when we went to my dad's caravan, and she played it in the retro visual style, I played it in the new style, but yeah, that killed a few good hours, and it just brought us back to the Sega Master System days. Of course, I do have Animal Crossing New Horizons, and like everyone else, that game got absolutely binged in the lockdowns of COVID. Literally, I went out, the day it came out, I went out to my local Argos. I walked right before work because I started at like 9. This was right before I was furloughed. It was 8 AM, and it was a lovely sunny day. I'm like, well, if everything's going to close down, I'm getting me a copy of Animal Crossing, because I refuse to buy it digitally. I don't like buying AAA titles digitally. The only time I've done it is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and I regret it hard. But yeah, me and my pals played that game. I've got a solid 80 or so hours out of it, which isn't a lot compared to some other people, but for me, 8 hours in a video game in this day and age is a ton. But yeah, had loads of fun there, had a good laugh. They're memories that I'll always, treasure in terms of the gaming landscape. So, got Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered and the Rebel Collection still sealed. I want to play Black Flag, I really do. I've got to be in the mood for those types of games, and I've not felt it since buying it. But yeah, that's that. ARMS, I bought this when the Switch came out. I was buying like every main release, and I bought ARMS and I didn't like it. I'm sorry, I didn't like it. And then Astral Chain, I bought the collector's edition, was hyped, didn't get around to playing it. I know, shocking. Axiom Verge was because it was cheap. Argos had it for like a tenner when Switch games are still, being around for like £30 minimum. So you bet I bought that. Balam Underworld, clearance on Smiths. Batman Telltale games, this is how I actually played this game. I'm actually really solid. I did have the physical copy of Enemy Within on Xbox, but I decided to buy digitally on Switch just to have that continuity, because I think you can carry over your story, and I did buy digital really cheap, so I've not played this second part of that yet, but when the series was cancelled, it kind of put a damper on it for me personally. Then Bayonetta collection. Played Bayonetta 2, game's fantastic. Remember cheesing it a little bit with like the chain chomp attached to Bayonetta's leg. Really solid game, should play it. And off the back of that, I did get Bayonetta 3. Again, not got around to that one yet, but I've heard mixed things about it. I did get it as a Christmas gift, which is, partially why I've not been rushing to play it. But when I'm in the mood for an action game, Bayonetta 3 is on the top of the list. Then Bioshock Collection, my pal was playing it and just saying how good the games are, so I got it for my birthday that year. Bloodstained, limited run game. I've stopped buying these altogether, because I'm afraid to open them. I'll leave them sealed, and then they gain so much value over time. It's like, I don't like to view games as investments, but with some of these earlier limited run games, they've gained not so much value, but enough value where I'm like, I could just buy it digitally and play it that way for like £2. So it's ultimately just a collection piece at that point. I'm considering maybe someday getting rid of the limited run games. We'll see though, because I like to have games that I'm going to actually play rather than just stuff taking up shelf space with games I've not got much of an attachment to like this. Same goes for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. Not limited run, but I got a clearance in game cheap. Then when they announced Borderlands on the Switch, I bought this day one. Really like the Borderlands series. I played both Borderlands 1 and 2. I never played pre-sequel because I think it's ass. Just being completely honest with you there. But Borderlands 1 and 2, great games. Me and my pals can run through them pretty quickly as well. Start off with the DLC, get yourself some overpowered weapons, blitz it, ton of fun. No better way to play it in my eyes. Burnout Remastered, again, when this was announced to be coming to Switch, I did buy it. I got it really cheap, like £20 or something when it came out, so it's hence why I bought it. I was big into just buying stuff when it came out on the Switch. Catherine Full Body, again, that's a game I want to play someday, just not got around to it. Child of Light Collection, and Donkey Kong is Dead. That one was out of game again on clearance, so I just picked up for that reason. Same goes for Collection of Mana. Contra Road Corps clearance in game is like £6, again you don't get much cheaper than that. Cooking Mama Cookstart, I got this when it was released because of all the stories of it, you know, oh the game's being cancelled, the developer's being sued. I was like, that's probably one I'd want to sit on, and not only that, the missus likes Cooking Mama, so we actually did play it. I sat and played it for 4 hours and it's shit, but we had fun. Like, it's not as good as the original Cooking Mama games, but we did play it, and it was, for the time considering I bought it during COVID, it was like, it was something to do. So I don't actually regret my purchase of that, although I wouldn't recommend it. Get the originals instead of Cooking Mama 1 and 2, and you'll get your money's worth. Then next one here, Crash Insane Trilogy. Played this on Steam primarily, and then I did get it on the Switch, and then during COVID I did buy it digital on the Xbox. And with PlayStation, I've got the PS Plus collection, but Crash Bandicoot, always a great one to have, and since I have it on Steam, I play it primarily on Steam Deck if I'm going to play it going forward. Crash 4 as well. I did buy this, the American copy, because it did come out in America first, and I was like, oh, I'd really like a Switch port of this. Played it on Xbox One, and then partially on Series X when that came out. And then I got the Switch version, because I like Crash Bandicoot. I will buy anything Crash Bandicoot. Like, that's one of the series I will always double, triple dip, quadruple dip even. Like Crash Team Racing, for example. I have this on PlayStation 4. You can see that there. I've got it on Xbox. If they had it on PC, I would have it there too. I just love it. The only thing that I want to do someday, but I've not done, is do the Ghost... I can't remember what you call it. The Nitrous Oxide Ghosts and the Entropy Ghosts. It's like, I just can't do them. I'm not good enough. Then it takes a lot of practice and time I don't have. But yeah, moving on, we have Cruise and Blast, Danganronpa Decadence. I've really got to move those knickknacks, or I'm going to break them. I'm just going to... Crash, are you okay, buddy? Right, Crash is crashed but lived. And Donkey Kong is also lived, so I'm going to be a bit more careful. But Danganronpa Decadence, I did get this. I bought it stupidly when it was like having print issues, and I paid full price for it. I did have a bit of Christmas money which contributed towards it. I think it was like £60 off Amazon when I did buy this, which I would never really pay £60 for a new release. I will always bite the bullet around £40 to £50. £50 for PlayStation titles, £40 for Switch titles is like my limit, just because that's standard pricing in my eyes, and I appreciate game development and all that costs a lot, but that's not my problem. If I'm buying a game day one, I'm doing it on a budget. But yeah, I bought this full price thinking it wasn't going to get reprinted or anything. Literally the next game week it was reprinted and down to like 40. I felt stupid, but I did play this a bit on the plane when I was going to Tenerife. To be fair, trying to get immersed in a game like that with a 6-month-old child probably wasn't my wisest idea, and it didn't pan out too well, but from what I played I did like. It's just something I need to go back to and properly invest more time into, because my friends are really into the series. I liked what I saw, but yeah. Next game here, Darksiders Remastered. I did play this. I stopped playing it though because I got it around launch when they had the Black Label fiasco. I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up, I'll give it a shot. I did enjoy what I played. I got a few hours in, but it just kept crashing. I kept losing progress and I got frustrated, so I shelved it. Hopefully they've fixed the crashing issues. I never kept up with it. I've got, you know, when it comes to games, I'm happy to buy them and collect them and leave them on the shelf. That doesn't faze me. I always see a game like, one way, you know, as a collector, you know you're not going to play everything you own. That's wishful thinking. You're delusional if you think that is the case. But I like to think of like games and stuff as an investment in future entertainment. Like if my son's ever like, hey dad, do you want to play this game or something? I'll be like, haha, I probably have it. But yeah, in terms of Darksiders, I did try it. It kept crashing, and it was a solid port. It ran really well as well, but it just kept crashing at random moments. I remember flying like a pterodactyl or something, and it crashed like 2 or 3 times. I'm like, what the hell?
so I just shelved it, which is a shame because I was actually enjoying it. But I got Darksiders 2, reason being this was on clearance for like £10, so yeah, that reason alone. Dark Souls as well, I purchased that off eBay for a pretty solid price, £25–30 maybe, around the time of release, so picked that one up. Dead Cells, similar, just bought it around the release time because I wanted to try it out. Disgaea 1, this is, out of the Disgaea games, I've played 5 and 6, I've still to get around to 1 complete and 4. But often with the Disgaea games, I'll just ask for them as gifts, because I do have Disgaea 7 as well, which I've got for Christmas, it's just passed. Not got around to it yet, but next on my list is either Kirby. I'm still playing through a bit of Draenus, played through Spider-Man 2, playing through Pokemon Conquest. Yeah, I'm just taking my time with them, I'm not rushing through them or anything like that. But yeah, 5 and 6, I would say out of the two, 5 is probably the better game. I do like the visuals in that in 6, and then 7 kind of lends itself to that visual style as well, but some good JRPGs if you've not tried them out. Digimon Cyber Sleuth Collection as well. That is one, my brother, I remember watching him go crazy over this game. Not literally crazy, but like he would just sit and binge it. He really enjoyed this series of games, and he was collecting them all for his Digidex. That's what I'm calling it. But yeah, I remember seeing like this like island thing as well, and this like blue portal place. So that led me to pick this game up, and yeah, I need to actually give it a whirl. But something to do sometime. And then I also have I bought this with game reward points, so probably should have bought a different game, but I wanted something new that day. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, absolutely great game, highly recommend it. That's all I'm going to say on that one. It's first party Nintendo, everyone knows about it. Donut County, this game is brilliant. I really wanted a physical copy when they announced that was a thing. This is the longest I've ever waited for a game, because I did buy it from I Am 8-Bit, and it took over a year to arrive. To be fair, that was due to disruption with COVID and all that as well. And whenever I did reach out to the customer support, they did reach out to me relatively quick as well. So I have absolutely no reason to complain. I knew it was still in hand, and of course I was understanding that not everyone would be as understanding as I am, but I get these things happen, so is what it is. Then Doom, this is actually how I've played Doom 2016. I did play Eternal on Xbox One when, yeah, I think it was Xbox One at the time. Yeah, it was Xbox One. I played Doom Eternal on there, played Doom 2016 on Switch. Probably not the ideal way to play Doom, still ran pretty well, but playing it in handheld mode wasn't the most comfortable experience, but yeah. Anyways, we have Dragon Ball FighterZ. I remember playing this game on the way to like work meetings and that in Birmingham and Manchester. This kept me occupied for a few journeys. Really solid title. And then one of my favourite games ever, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. This game is so fun. I want to get the DLC, but I want them to do like a complete edition because there's so much DLC it would just cost a fortune to go back and buy it all. I want a complete edition of Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, please. And then Dragon Marked for Death. I did buy this around again the time it came out. I played it for a couple hours. Didn't gel with it too well. Come to think of it as well, it's kind of like a 2D kind of like platformer, like actiony platformer. I don't know if it would, I don't remember enough of it to say if it's like a Metroidvania or something, but I mean, the visuals caught my eye, I like the art style. It just wasn't for me though, so I just kind of shelved it. You can't like every game you play. Dragon Quest 11, then Dragon Quest Builders 1 and 2. I tried Dragon Quest Builders, again, didn't gel with it too well, but I think when I did play it, you know, I was, I get it. Well, to be fair, I got 2 because that one was cheap, but Dragon Quest Builders 1 I did get. I tried it out. Wasn't my cup of tea, but not everything is, so that's fine. Fast Racing RMX. Again, bought that one because that's a game I wanted physical. I was actually trying to grab it on Wii U, and then the Super Rare Games were like, hey, we're doing it physical, so I bought it that way. Then Fire Emblem Three Hopes. This was the game of my birthday in 2019. I took a week off work. My brother got me this game. I sat and I binged it in one go. It was like 45 hours it took me to beat it. So, really fun game. I went, I can't remember what the red one's called. Forgive me for lack of detail here, but I went to the Red House, Edelgard, her crew. I really enjoyed it. I ended up marrying Manuela at the end. She reminded me of Edna Krabappel. I don't know why that's a reason to marry a character, but here we are. Then Fire Emblem Warriors, that same brother got me that game when that came out for Christmas that year. Right, they're not going back in the shelf, so I'll sort them out later. Then just a couple of games up there I got from Christmas, Disgaea 7 and Draenus. Draenus is a shoot 'em up that is awesome, love it. If you've not played this game, highly, highly recommend it. You should give this one a whirl. Even if you just buy it digitally, I imported it from Japan. Getsuma Fumiden, got that one recently on sale. Been on wish lists for years. It's just something that, yeah. Then they announced the Switch version. I was like, ooh, hopefully a physical. Never did a physical, so I was close to buying it on Steam. And then they finally did the physical, so I was like, oh, happy days. Ghostbusters, the video game remaster. With that one, it's actually the Mrs. title. Just put it on my shelf. Ghost Runner, God Eater 3, Grease. If that's how you pronounce it, Grease, whatever. Hades. This game is awesome. Everyone likes Hades. I need to actually go back and finish this one. But from what I played it primarily on Steam. Bought the physical version for it on Switch just to have it in the collection, basically. To be fair, when I had it on Steam, that was like, oh, the permanent home setup. And then they did Steam Deck, so kind of made this version redundant. But it's got a really nice art book with it and that, and I'm happy to have it. So, yeah, I'll say that. Hollow Knight as well, one of my pal's favourite games of all time. I've tried it, I do like it. It's one of those, I just need to invest more time into it. Horizon Chase Turbo, Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition. I bought this when it came out. Really solid hack and slash. I would say I had my fix of it after about 10 hours or so. I like these games, but I can only like them for so long before I just want to pick up and play something else. They do get a tad repetitive, but with the cast of characters and everything in that game, you know, incredible varied range of content across the Zelda series. So I had to pick this one up. It just looked interesting. I never did get the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity because it just didn't appeal to me. It looked like a lesser version of this game, so I don't know. You know, I was like, I'm not buying this. Indivisible, Inertial Drift. I bought Inertial Drift being like, oh cool, that sounds like a really cool game. I saw it on like a Hinge Gems list. I played it and I think it was rubbish. it was a load of crap. The production value was rubbish. Honestly, I've played mobile games that are higher quality than this in my eyes. Really didn't enjoy this one. Jump Force, I was thinking this would be like Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. It was not nearly as good as that. Because the 3D arena gameplay kind of gave me those vibes. I was like, oh, maybe I'll gel with this one quite well. Nope, sucks. Then you've got Just Dance games. Mrs. likes Just Dance, so I've bought her a couple for Christmas over the years. I think I bought Dance 2020. Yeah, that's the one that I actually bought just because I have more songs, I guess. Then these two are like Christmas gifts over the years. Kirby and the Forgotten Land, not played that yet. Star Allies, I have played. Really enjoyed Star Allies. Me and my brother played it for like an 8-hour session. Did all like the mini games, did the main story and such. It was good fun. Kirby, you know, you're always guaranteed a pretty solid time. Even if they're not the best in the series, it's still pretty fun, and the characters and that and the landscapes and such are charming. L.A. Noire, I remember buying that one around the time it came out. Had a really good time with it. But yeah, L.A. Noire is a game that I really enjoyed. A lot of people do, you know, praise this one in terms of Rockstar games, and yeah, have to agree, really solid title. I bought Little Nightmares Complete Edition when it was going crazy value. I found it pretty cheap for like £20, but I think that's because they did a reprint, so I think it's now sat around that price. The missus really fancied a shot of Little Nightmares 2, so I bought it for her birthday one year. Luigi's Mansion 3, me and the missus actually played together. She was Gooigi, I was normal Luigi. We had a really fun time with it. That was a good game. I think that was of Christmas of 2019. That was a game that took a good portion of our time. Then you have just a few more games here. Forgot one. So just some Mario titles. Mario and Sonic, not much to say about that. Mario Rabbids. This is a game I just impulse bought the day, like, of the weekend it came out. It's actually a really solid title, I've got to give it credit. Kind of an XCOM styled game. You know, that kind of RPG, tactical RPG. Never bought the second one. I nearly bought it when it was £15 in Smith's, but I was like, I'm not going to play it, I don't need it. So I'm not in the position where I can just impulse buy games now, because I was still living with my mum and dad at the time when the Switch came out. It was my first proper system I bought and paid for myself. So a lot of my disposable income was just Switch games. Day one release, I'm buying them. But yeah, now that I've got mortgage, kid, family to provide for, you know, games do take a back seat, and I do focus more on retro because it's a lot cheaper. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and it's also more respectful of your time. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I'm not going to talk about that one. Everyone knows its praises. It's a great game. I still play it sometimes to this day. And then Mario Party Superstars, had a good laugh with this one. Yeah, me and the missus played that one together. She enjoys Mario Party, as do I. Mario Tennis Aces was let down by a bit. I thought it was going to be a good return to form, and it wasn't bad. It just wasn't as good as previous Mario Tennis games. Mario Tennis N64 will always be my favourite. Then Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, really enjoyed this game as well. Did get stuck for a while, then came back to it and got past the bit that we got stuck at. Me and the missus were playing together. And yeah, after we did that, we're like, okay, let's put it away and never played it again. But I want to go back and finish this one someday. Really liked it. And I do have the rest of the games now to try out too. Then my first ever PlayAsia purchase was Mega Man Legacy Collection. In the same shipment, I got Mega Man 11. Again, wasn't released in PAL physical format. And Mega Man X Legacy Collection, I believe, was off eBay. And then Metroid Dread, only reason I did buy this one day one is because of the Curry's price glitch. They charged like 20 odd pounds for it day one, so I was like, yes. Even now, I think that price is pretty much what it goes for now anyways. But it's not like I spent much on it, which is the reason I have it. Then a couple of games that are just sitting here at the top. Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe and Super Mario RPG. Games I got for Christmas. Kirby's next on the list just because you know, I'm just kind of wanting some shorter games at the minute. Like, I just beat Tekken 8 trophies and such. I've got the Platinum, and I'm going to play some online, do the rest of the character stories, because I'm quite enjoying that. I'm going to take like a day or two off from it, just because I did binge it over the weekend quite extensively. And Tekken 8, it's not a Switch game, but highly, highly recommend it. Best fighting game I've played in years. Minus King of Fighters 13, I really enjoyed that one too. But got Miitopia here. Again, bought that day one for some reason. Never played it. It was the Hyper and the Mii creator. I thought it looked like a ton of fun. Didn't end up playing it. Minecraft, I bought on the Switch. Played that a good few times. Played it with pals. You know, Minecraft, it's just one of those games. It's like Rock Band and Guitar Hero. I'll always pick up and play it maybe once or twice a year. It's just a good constant to have, and it's all compatible. This is the only modern version of Minecraft I have physically, so yeah, I'll just pick up and play the Switch version. It's all cross-compatible. No reason to own it on the PS4 and the PS5. I did play it on Game Pass as well, and got a bunch of achievements. That was the last time I played Minecraft. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, not played that one admittedly. I'm very much a social person when it comes to Monster Hunter, because when I play Monster Hunter Rise, I played this with my pals. They bought Switches for this game, and man, Monster Hunter Rise was a great time. Really enjoyed that. Got like a solid 50 or so hours out of it. That's how long it took me to beat the main campaign. Really fun title. Better with friends in my eyes. I would say Monster Hunter, you can play it by yourself, but it's better played with friends. But yeah, that's my piece on that one. Then you do have Mortal Kombat 11. I actually bought this one not long after it came out with a voucher that I won from work. And they had this shout out system, and then I got a shout out for like doing a good job on something. And then they just did a random raffle, and they gave me a £40 Argos voucher, and that bought my Mortal Kombat 11. It ran okay on the Switch. The graphics were not that great. But I do have it on Xbox One for the better version. If I want a fix some portable Mortal Kombat, I always have it here. And then got Moving Out. Played this one quite a bit as well. That's actually a really fun title. Yeah, not too much more to say than that. It's kind of party style. Think you're overcooked, but the premise is moving out instead of making food. But yeah, really solid title. I need to try out the second one at some point, but I'm not looking for multiplayer games. I just want to play some single player stuff. And then you do have Namco Museum Arcade Pack. Bought this for Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. I think it was Retro Smash TV that mentioned it's got Splatterhouse on it. I did not know that was on there. I bought this solely for Championship Edition 2. And that's where all my playtime came from. I played this for a good while. I love Championship Edition. Splatterhouse is hiding up in the corner there. But yeah, I did not care for the rest of the games. But, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I don't buy these Namco collections of the retro titles often because they're all the same in my eyes, even if they do have maybe one or two game variations. But yeah, Championship Edition, it's got the original there as well, Pac-Man Versus, so it was worth it for that alone. But I'm gonna go back and check out Splatterhouse, maybe check out some of the other games. Yeah, and then move these aside here just so I can get into the other games easier. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered. Really fun title, really good racer. I like that one quite a lot. New Pokemon Snap, I played it. It's not as... It's a fuller experience, but it doesn't connect to me the way the original game did. I don't know what it is about the new Pokemon Snap. I still enjoyed it. It's still a good game, but I don't know. Maybe it was one of those where it's like Pokemon Snap can never... The magic of Pokemon Snap can't just be recreated. I like this game. I will play it again at some point in my life for sure. But yeah, it's... I will probably just go back and play the original if I ever want to fix a Pokemon Snap. Not a bad game at all, and it still is a good game, but I don't know. It's just, yeah. Moving on then. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Yeah, enjoyed that one, beat this one. Really solid 2D Mario game, but at this point everyone was over this style of Mario game. New Super Lucky's Tale. Nexomon Extinction for that Pokemon fix, because Pokemon on the Switch just hasn't been as good. It's still solid, but yeah. Nintendo Labo 1-4, No Straight Roads, Old School Musical, and Oninaki. This is like a Square Enix title. I got it pretty cheap out of game, and yeah, I think it's not a huge release or anything like that. Don't know if it's worth anything now, don't really care either. So I got the Ori games. Yeah, I wanted physical copies of those, and they were on Game Pass, which is why I was like, I'll leave them sealed, but it's just to have them in the collection. This is literally just a box, basically. Panzer Dragoon's another limited run title I purchased. Persona 5 Royal, really solid port here, really good work. I think this one was too little too late though. As I say, it's still great, it's on the Switch, but they took their time with it. I think a lot more people would have bought into it if it came sooner. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, but yeah, really solid title. Persona 5 you should play, you should definitely play it. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Pokemon Rocky Reshrined, and then Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. Again, I played it, I finished it 25 hours or so, never wanted to pick up again, wasn't that big on it. Yeah, to be honest, definitely the Diamond and Pearl remakes were disappointing. Pokemon Legends Arceus, on the other hand, was not disappointing. This is the best Pokemon has been in the last decade. I'd say since around the X and Y time frame, because I really, really fell in love with X and Y, and I understand why people are like, it's a bit too simple. But I think with X and Y, I felt that was a really solid return to form. Mega Evolutions were the best thing that happened in Pokemon in my eyes as well. But yeah, Legends Arceus was the next evolutionary step into Pokemon, and then with Scarlet and Violet, a bit further along here, Pokemon Scarlet, I feel that was 2 steps forward and 2 steps back, where they went back to like the random encounters. Well, it wasn't random encounters, but like, yeah, I like the way they handled like shinies in the overworld. They didn't, and then they kind of made it so you had to go and encounter them. Like, I nearly missed a shiny Basculin in Scarlet, and it charged me, and that's the only reason I saw it. And this game's performance and graphical style was not that great. Legends Arceus was stylized, while not the most graphically impressive game. It was, yeah, and it also, I know I'm just rambling a bit here, but this also came at a very like transitional period in my life where my son was about to be born. Literally the night he was decided to come out and be like, "Hey world, I'm born, bro." Yeah, I've just 100% finished this game. I jokingly said to the missus, I was like, "Hey, wait to come out until I've finished Legends Arceus. Let me catch Arceus and beat the boss battle." And I did that night. Went to bed for like an hour. And then, yeah, he was ready to come and visit us all, and we're still blessed with him almost 2 years later. And then yeah, Pokemon Legends Arceus will always hold a special place in my heart. I really hope they do another game like this. I'm willing to sink another 60, 70 hours into it. And I don't say that for any games. Then you've got Let's Go Eevee, it's just the physical copy, got it on clearance from Smith's. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team, I bought this as FOMO when COVID lockdowns were kind of happening, just because I wanted a copy rather than having to buy it online. Scarlet, I got about 60 or so hours out of it, never purchased a DLC, even if it is solid. I've been kind of pondering if I should buy it or not. If I want another Pokemon fix before the next game comes out, I will. But yeah. Scarlet was definitely, I did like Scarlet, but it took me well over a month to finish it. And for me, for a Pokemon game to take that long to finish, it must have its issues. And yeah, my brothers really enjoyed it as well. I did like it, but it's not one that, out of all Pokemon games, this is probably one of the last ones I'd recommend, other than Sword and Shield, and I went big and bought the double pack. I let the missus play Shield because she really enjoyed Let's Go Eevee, but didn't gel with Shield. I played Sword for about 90 hours or so. I did like Sword, but I wouldn't go back and play that one again, I don't think. Pokemon Tournament, one of the first Switch games I did buy. Really, really enjoyable title. Then Puyo Puyo Tetris. Oh, I was about to swear just because of how much I love Puyo Puyo. But yeah, really, really enjoyable titles. I think I'm about double dipping and getting this on PS5 to get trophies and stuff. I think that'd be fun. Rayman Legends Definitive Edition. Best part about this game is easily the music levels. Really enjoy Rayman Legends and Origins, those types of games. Shame they never made another follow-up. Rhyme, bought because it was like a tenner off Amazon. Ring Fit Adventure. Oh, this actually puts you through your paces. Like, if you're thinking, oh, I want to do some exercise in-house, get Ring Fit Adventure. It actually works. It's really good. Rivals of Aether. Really great Smash Bros-like fighter. I do enjoy the platform fighter genre as a whole, like multiverses. I can't wait for that to come back. I really enjoy Nick All-Star Brawl 2. Rivals of Aether, Slap City was a great one. Yeah, I'm quite well versed in that genre of games. Rocket League, I bought it, didn't really like it. Sayonara Wild Hearts was cheap. And Scott Pilgrim, when Limited Run were announcing they were doing that, everyone bought it. And yeah, there was no way I wasn't buying it myself. So, next game here. This one I bought solely so I could have Dr. Robotnik's Beam Machine on Switch. Because I've played this collection, I don't know what it is, the games, to me, I'd rather just play them on the original hardware. Really solid selection of titles though. Landstalker's one I got not too long ago. I tried Galaxy Force, I think that game's awful. Flicky's great, but yeah. Bought it for Dr. Robotnik's Beam Machine, got the Shantae games, and then insert the Timmy Turner's dad meme of, this is where I put Pirate's Curse, if I had one. Yeah, and that game has eluded me. I could have bought the 3DS one or the PS5 version, but I definitely want it on Switch. If I do get it. That's a holy grail item I'll hopefully get one day. Shaq Fu Legend Reborn. Game happened to put this out on the shelf early, so I bought it and made a video at the time. We got like 1,000 views, for which at the time for my channel was really solid. And it was literally just me talking over the game and nobody liked it, and I understand why. And then Shelter Generations, probably the rarest game in my Switch collection because it was one of the earliest super rare releases. Number 3. I just impulse bought it one day. I got an advert on Facebook and it was like, oh yeah, this game's 1 in 3,000. And I'm like, hey, I'm gonna buy that. And I did. Then Sign Mora EX was like £3 out of game. Sniper Elite series, quite enjoy that series of games, so I'll purchase them on Switch. Songbird Symphony, Sonic Forces. I bought this on Switch day one. I almost double dipped with this game. I'm glad I didn't. It wasn't that good. Frontiers, double dipped to this. Got the Platinum on PS5. If I want to play through it again, I will be playing through it on Switch. Played a little bit. It's alright. One thing to highlight here. This is the copy of Unravel 2 that's a cart only. Got it for like... I didn't pay much for it because it was part of the free game collection, so technically paying nothing because everything's in profit now, but that's something to follow up on that video actually. But yes, got Sonic Mania Plus, which I had this game digitally. Mrs. bought the double pack of Sonic Forces and Mania Plus, which is why it's on my shelf. I've got the other copy of Forces just chilling in a crate in the cupboard. Then South Park Fractured But Whole, bought this on the Switch. Kinda wish I bought it on another platform to be honest, but hey ho. Then Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. I bought this buying into the hype like, oh yeah, I liked the movie game as a kid. Never played Battle for Bikini Bottom, only heard really good things, but I think my expectations were a little too high. I found it to be pretty average, leaning towards good. Yeah, so I never played it too long, didn't really enjoy it that much. Then you got the Spyro trilogy, which I 100% the whole trilogy on Switch. And yeah, maybe one day I'll platinum that on PlayStation as well. Really enjoy the Spyro series. Then you've got Starlink, which again, this is a pretty cool game. You've got good old Star Fox right there. Story of Friends, Friends in Mineral Town, I believe that is. Story of Seasons, sorry. And then Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection. I bought this when I bought one of these shelves. I just wanted a new game to go on the shelf, and this was a solid collection to do so. Really a good plethora of titles right here. Probably the definitive Street Fighter collection, because you do get some here and there. And then the reason that I largely stopped buying from Limited Run Games is this title right here. I do not like this box art. And then they announced and released a copy before I even had this one in my hands. A physical copy in the PAL region. And the apology was a little mini soundtrack selection or something. Again, was the box art and the PAL version is much nicer as well. So, yeah, well, I've got the game, that's the main thing. But yeah, that's largely what put me off of buying the Limited Run. Super Bomberman R, bought that around the time the Switch came out, really fun title. Super Dragon Ball Heroes, need to actually give that one a proper go. And then you have Super Mario 3D All-Stars. This game, awesome. Super Mario 64, love that title. Not so keen on Sunshine, really enjoy Galaxy. For these two titles alone, brilliant. And then you've got Sunshine, which is a maybe title. Alright, now we've got the final part of the Switch collection here. So starting off with Super Mario 3D World. Played that, actually very fun game, but never actually got around to Bowser's Fury, so that's something on the backlog I need to check out. Then we have Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I spoke about this previously in a game pickups video. Really like this game, really fun. Need to go back and actually finish it though. And then got Super Mario Party. Similar to Mario Party Superstars, quite enjoyed what I played of that. Very solid game. Out of the two, I don't know. I'm not sure what one I prefer, but I like both quite a bit. I think they're both good Mario Party games. A good return to form. And then you've got Super Mario Maker 2, which admittedly I didn't make many levels, but I played some other people's, and I played like the storyline thing that was built in, which was quite fun. So yeah, I'll take that. It was a solid, they had some solid pre-designed levels, so it was worthwhile picking up for that, and the different styles were cool too. I quite like the addition of the Mario 3D World style. And then you also have Super Mario Odyssey, which is, I remember when this game came out, ordered a Chinese, had the game, played it for the duration of that night. Really fun game. Quite like the secret Mushroom Kingdom level at the end there as well. Then you also have Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz HD. Again, pretty solid game. Not the best in the Monkey Ball series, but it was a good testing grounds before they made Banana Mania, which, holy smokes, that's next. I do have this digitally on the Xbox, which is where I primarily played this. I did buy the physical version on Black Friday sales the year it came out. Launch edition was only like £20. So for a Switch game, and it gives me the option of having Monkey Ball portably, so I'll take that. Then of course, the best Switch game on the system, easily Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's a game that I anticipated this game greatly. I think this was the last true game I was hyped for, like properly hyped for, because as a boring adult these days, I very rarely go like, oh boy, like quivering with excitement. The last time I felt that was with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And a game that is heavily slept on, Sushi Striker The Way of Sushido. Really enjoyed this puzzle game. It took about 15 or so hours to beat, so not too long, but it's a very fun and entertaining game. Highly recommend it. Then you've got Taiku Tatsujin no Drummond Fun, or whatever it's called. Then you've got the big box up there. Again, those games are quite fun. Not my favourite. It's kind of like, gives me Donkey Kong Country vibes. Donkey Konga, sorry. Then you have Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythmic Adventure Pack. Again, they only did like code and box releases for these, so I decided to, I think it was like bazaar.com or something that I imported this from. I think they are like based in, I don't know if they're UK based or European, but yeah, that's a bit about them anyways. And then you've got Team Sonic Racing. Just got some inserts here from a Witcher copy I bought ages ago, because I don't have the big box version of it on Switch. Team Sonic Racing, it was okay. Didn't love it. It was fine. Yeah, I got a good few hours out of that. Binding of Isaac, and then you've got Skyrim, which this was a ton of fun on Switch. A great way to play this game is definitely on the Switch. Highly recommend the Switch version if you can get your hands on it. Then Zelda Breath of the Wild. I never played this a ton. I remember the one time I did play it, I sat and played it for like 7 hours straight. And I was just like, at the time, I was like, I don't have the time to do that. And especially now, I definitely don't, but it's a fun game. Then Zelda Link's Awakening DX. Well, it's not DX, it's just a remake. I do have the amiibo as well. He's in a crate in my storage cupboard. But yeah, I got the special edition with the steelbook of this. I don't care for steelbooks like at all. But for this one, the Game Boy Steelbook is really cool. And it comes with a nice art book. Now, I very nearly finished this. It had a final fetch quest in the last dungeon. Could not be arsed with the fetch quests, so I hate fetch quests. They're a waste of time. So I just need to do that one day and do the final dungeon. And then I have Zelda Skyward Sword HD. Don't have too much to say about that, to be fair. Then Tears of the Kingdom. To be fair, I did not buy this for me. I bought this because Mrs. really wanted to play it, so that's the whole reason I have it in the collection. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have it. I'll play it one day, probably. Then I've got The Messenger, probably one of the more elusive titles in the Switch collection. I ordered this through Limited Run. This is one of the more highly sought after ones. It's basically just Ninja Gaiden, kind of compares to like that. Then you've got the Witcher Complete Edition, got some inserts there. That's why I held on to those. And then you've got the wonderful 101 Remastered. I really wanted to like this game. I tried. Didn't. Wasn't something that, I don't know, I really like Platinum Games combat, and then just didn't gel with it really. Then you've got Tokyo, which I found on clearance for $5, the big box version. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Love these games. Have it on every platform I can. The only thing I don't have it on is PC. Don't know if it is on that. Trials Rising. Yeah, this is actually a really fun game. I remember playing Trials on the Xbox 360. Enjoyed it there. So thought, hey, I'll pick up Trials Rising, and I got it when it came out. Wasn't let down. Then got Undertale on the Switch as well. Again, that game is very fun. Now we're on to the last few games of the collection. Untitled Goose Game. I need to properly give that a go because I played it on Game Pass, but I need to try the Switch version. Vampire is kind of similar where I got that on PC, but it wasn't working properly, so I ended up getting the Switch version. Need to give it a proper go again. Wargroove as well, which is kind of similar to Advance Wars. WarioWare Get It Together. That is quite a fun game actually. WarioWare Get It Together is not bad. And then WarioWare Move It. So I did buy this, but it was actually meant to be a Christmas present for my mum because she likes WarioWare, but it was one of the motion control ones, so I opted to just not give her this, and she got her pair of shoes instead. Yeah, sitting sealed for now, but I'll give it a shot sometime. Wolfenstein 2, World End Syndrome, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, got the it's not Starlink, is it? It is Starlink, yeah, Starlink. Got Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, awesome game. And then I got the Torna Chronicles. Then Yooka-Laylee, love this game as well, wanted the physical on the Switch. Think I bought it secondhand off eBay for £40, which is a really solid price. Feels weighty, so I assume it's got the manual and such, can't remember. Let me check. Yep, it's got the little manual in there. And then Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, which is basically a new Donkey Kong Country game. If you can get your hands on this one, highly recommend it. The Impossible Lair, awesome game. Yoshi's Crafted World, which, I will be honest, there seems to be a lot of these games that I've picked up and been disappointed with. Yoshi's Crafted World is a prime example of it. Really wanted to like it, but it was the worst thing a game can be. Boring. And then you have Zombie Army Trilogy. And that is the Nintendo Switch collection. Yeah, I have quite a few games. Yeah, just a few.
And that was the Nintendo Switch collection. As I say, lots of great games there. Highly recommend some of those again. If you see any of those games that look interested, feel free to pop them in the comments below. Let me give you a lowdown. Or even then, if you want to recommend me play some of these games, the ones that I may have mentioned I've not got around to yet, maybe I should prioritise it in the backlog, please let me know. Very happy to take on any suggestions. But yes, if you did enjoy the video, please do like, share and subscribe. At the time of filming, very close to 1,000 subscribers. And I really want to get there, so, you know, I'm like 7 or so away at this time. By the time this uploads, I might have more. Some people might decide to unsubscribe and I might have less, but regardless, I would be very much appreciated. And again, when I do get to 1,000 subscribers, I'm brainstorming some ideas as to what I want to do for a special. I don't normally do these types of videos, like special videos or anything like that, but I think for 1,000, I think it's a worthy milestone. But yeah, as I say, final reminder, if you liked it, please like, share and subscribe, and of course, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, and goodbye.